found them. And unfortunately, I wasn't that lucky. But my colleague Conrad stuck his shovel in and bang, hit something solid. And it's a quernstone. Completely surprised us. We weren't expecting to find it here, but it is roughly where Matt is standing now, and we have a series of 3 or 4 pits.
It's three.
Is it 3? Yeah, we've got 3 very large pits, and these are so far have been the best indicator. They are roughly situated, if you can see on the map, just about here. So you would have had part of the ditch enclosure, smaller part coming down here, and we think the ditch enclosure continues on, but in the gap between the 2 of them is where these large pits are. And this is where the quernstones have come from, so it's all very, very exciting.
So what we believe is that these pits, I'm not sure if you've said that already, and I didn't catch it, they were the gates, they were the gate posts to get into the Roman enclosure. So you would come through here, and that would have been the gates, that's how they would have controlled access. So what it looks like, what we believe, is that this ditch here, the Romans have continued using a earlier Iron Age ditch that predated them. So what we've seen in the evaluation trenches is that ditch field boundary comes all the way down this landscape and all the way back up. So there is continual reuse of this landscape. So the last thing to talk about in this area really, I guess, is the ha-ha that we mentioned. So we can see it here. You can see just the top of the walls. Yeah, if you want to go, Ben will go walk along it and show you where it is. So you can see here it is, and it's got this slight kink in it, which is not what you'd expect. That's quite strange. You'd expect it to be nice and evenly curved. So what we found is this big, for want of a better word, a blob, an amorphous feature that we weren't quite sure what it was. On the oldest OS maps that you look at, there's a large tree right in that spot. When we excavated this, we found tree rooting. So what we have established is that when they built this ha-ha, there was a tree that was large enough for them to actually, instead of digging it up, they just built around it. So it's quite nice. And if you can imagine, that was built in, again, we're yet to get the results back of when that was dated to, but if that was built in the 18th century, that tree was at least big enough to have to be accommodated for. So who knows how old that was, another 200 years maybe? So yeah, I'm excited. Any questions about this area?
Yeah, would the ha-ha be part of the design landscape?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if, like I was saying, it's part of the garden of the Swinnow Hall. Yeah. So what do you mean to keep?
If you can imagine, there was quite a lot of nice, probably quite a well looked after garden on the other side of that ha-ha that you don't want the animals coming and getting. Yeah, last thing you want is a deer coming over and munching everything that you've tried so hard to cultivate.
So there is a change in where people were. So like I was mentioning, we found the Iron Age enclosures down on that far end, and then in the Roman period they've moved up here onto the higher ground, likely where it's drier. So the process of why they've moved, or if it's different people, the reason they're up here now is definitely because this landscape would have been very wet and boggy, much as it is now, and this is the driest point of it. Whether it's just because they've just managed to clear the forests or whatever it was, that is the chronology of those.
Did any of the old Roman survey maps show any ancient or veteran woods around here?
The OS maps?
To my knowledge, no. The only things that we've come up on the OS, there was a public footpath, wasn't there?
Yeah, but we're talking about quite different periods of chronology there. So the OS maps go to the mid-1800s, whereas we're talking about 2000.